Namaste. This is Swami Prabodhananda again, the General Secretary of International Vedanta Society, and welcome you all to the International Vedanta Society, and in this channel, International Vedanta Society Universal. Thank you for watching the videos that we are posting about Bhagavad Gita, and and your comments and your messages, and we are going to answer all your messages very shortly. Since tomorrow is Sunday and we have a lot of programs, so I thought of recording tomorrow's video today itself on the morning of Saturday. So uh, we are talking about Jnana Yoga. That is the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we have already completed the 13th verse, which talks about Chaturvarna Maya Srishta Guna Karma Vibhagasha Tasya Kartaramapimam Mam Vidma Akartam Abvayam. So there was a confusion when Krishna had revealed himself as Lord. So a lot of confusion, a lot of questions started to creep up in the mind of Arjuna. If you are the Lord, why is this? Why is that? Why is so inequality? Why there is no equality? Why are some people preferred? Why are the others not given the chance of having uh, the the highest knowledge or to practice the highest quality of human being? So these were all the questions that were creeping up into the mind of Arjuna, and sensing them, Krishna said that, you see, whatever division you see in this world, if you think that this whole society is divided into four castes: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. And if you think that these four castes, there are the preferred ones and there are the less preferred ones, if you think like this has happened only because of the actions and the quality of the people itself. It's not about me. I have not chosen, that this person is going to be a Brahmin or that person is going to be a Shudra. It's not like that. Chaturvarna Maya system. It's true. It's true that I have divided this four caste. Nowadays there is a lot of question which comes that India has got caste, four caste, and the people are prejudiced. But it's not like that. The caste system was not done to divide people, or the caste system was not done to make people, to give preference to a certain group of people, and to you know and to commit atrocities in the other set of people. It's not like that. It's about the work and the qualities that people have chosen, and in that way the society was divided. Like somebody wanted to have a higher knowledge of the scriptures, or somebody wanted to have the insight of the truth which is beyond this world. So he was termed as Brahman. Somebody wanted to defend his people, to defend the truth, to defend the cause, and he didn't mind even to have a weapon, even to uh, you know to have a weapon and to defend. So he was put into the Kshatriya class. And then somebody wanted to have, to make business, to to cultivate the land, to cultivate the fields. So they were said to be Vaishyas, and in this way the society was divided. So he said, Chaturvarna Maya Srishta Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Yes, it's true that I have made this distinction. I've made this caste system, but this was done only on the basis of the karmas that people do and their attributes. It's not done by me. I have not thought about this person should be a Brahmin and that person should be a Kshatriya. It's not like that. The caste system already was there, which was not defined. I just gave the definition, and that is what he says. Tasya kartaramapi vimam vidma akartam avvayam. Though I am the one who have divided this caste, but you need to know that I am not the doer at all. I am not the doer. I am the imperishable. I'm the imperishable. I'm the deathless. I'm the deathless. I'm the undecaying. I'm the undecaying self. So when I am the undecaying self, I'm the deathless. Why should I, divide this whole caste? Because everybody is also deathless. So there is no need to divide this class, this society. The society itself has divided into itself, divided itself into various classes according to the karmas, according to the inhibitions that they have. So that is what it says. Chaturvarna maya srishta guna karma vibhagasha tasya kartaram abhimam vidma akartam avvayam. And because Arjuna had this, Arjuna had this confusion that it is Krishna who have done this. It is Krishna who is behind all these differences. It's Krishna is the Lord who is behind all this division of this society, and because of this, we suffer. So, Krishna is making it more, he is making it a little bit more descriptive and is explaining himself more. He says, Namam karmani limpanti name karme phale spriha. He says, Arjun, be very, clear about it, that I do not have any stains of action. Means any action which is done by me does not contain any stains. That is, every action that I do it for the benefit of others. So there is no stain. I cannot harm people. I cannot be the, I cannot be the cause of destruction. I cannot be the cause of damage, of loss. I am the cause of growth. I'm the cause of growth. I'm the cause of development. I'm not the cause of loss. So, my work are never tainted. Namam karmani limpanti. My works are never tainted. They're always clear. They're always clear. They're always, perfect. There's always bright. And name karme phale spriha. And know this very clearly, that whatever karma I do, whatever actions I perform, I do not have any desire to enjoy the results of this action. I do every action very, very selflessly. There's no, there's no desire to enjoy the results of my action. The results, my actions are very pure, with full intention of serving others, and that is how the results are. I do not hanker for the results. Namam karmani limpanti name karme phale spriha. Iti mam jo vi janati karma bhirna savadhyate. A person who knows me in this way, a person who knows that all the actions that I do are never tainted, they're all clear, they're all intended for the good of others. It's not to damage this world. I'm a auspicious power. I'm an auspicious power. Okay, so iti mam jo vi janati. A person who knows this, a person who knows me like that I'm this auspicious power. My works are all taintless, and I have no desire of enjoying the fruits of my action. Karma bhirna savadhyate. He does not get, involved, or he does not get bounded in his own actions. Like he can produce any action, he can do any action, but he's not going to, he's not going to get attached or binded by the action and its results. So this is another, another aspect of the incarnation, the doctrine of incarnation. If you can recognize, if you can recognize the incarnate, if you can recognize the incarnate of that era, and if you can understand the way he works, the works he does, and if you can see that all the works that he does are intended for the good of others, it is not for his own enjoyment. He does not have any attachment to the results of the actions. Is completely selfless, is working all the time for the benefit of others. He is the auspicious power. If you can recognize the the incarnate in this way, then you are also going to be free from all actions. In the third chapter, Karma Yoga, as well as in the second chapter, Sankhya Yoga, Krishna says that you need to work. You need to work to get rid of this cycle of karma. Na karma na manarambha naishkarma purusha ashnute. If you really want to attain the state of worklessness, you need to work. You need to go through sadhana. You need to go through a process. But here it says that there is no process at all. If you can just understand the process in which I work, you don't need to go through any process. You have the only process that you need to go through is to understand the process that I am in, to understand what I am, how I am, and what are the works that I'm doing. So if a person can understand that, then he is free from all his actions. Iti mam jo vijanati karma bhina savadhati. And then he tells Arjuna, this is how people in the past have done. Because I have come many times in the past, not the only time. You and me have come many times, and I, as the incarnation of God, I've come I have come to this world many times before. And whenever I came, people knew me, and people used to work in a certain way. And that is how you need to work now. Because I am the Lord and you are with me. So because you are with me, you need to understand me, you need to know me. And after you know me, all these things that I'm telling you, all these attributes, all these good things that I'm telling you, you are going to be free from all actions. This is what it's going to happen. So you need to follow the wise men in the past, the way they work, the way they used to know me, and after knowing me, the way they work, you need to also do it in that way. So he says, evam gyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhi. Evam gyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhi. He said, the people, this wise men, or the people who aspire for enlightenment, the aspirants, the aspirants what they did in this way. They used to understand me, my style of working, my way of working, my intentions, and they used to follow my work, and in this way they used to get enlightened. They didn't need to do any other work. Evam gyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhi. The aspirants in the past lives, in like thousands of years ago, the aspirants, they used to just understand who I am. They used to try to understand the way I work, and this is how they used to get liberated. And kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvai purvataram kritam. And you also do the same thing like them. You also do the same thing. You also learn from them how they used to work, how they used to view work, and how they used to how they used to work and how they used to see me and what they used to see me and what happened to them. You need to look at them and you need to follow them. Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvai purvataram kritam. And you need to follow them. You need to follow them and work in that way. So here Krishna is giving very much importance on working, on actions, isn't it? So, while he has revealed himself, that see, I am the Lord, and I come here, I appear to restore peace, I appear to restore nobility. But after he said this, then he started to talk about the actions and the actions that Arjuna need to do and the actions that Krishna does. So Arjuna was thinking, are the actions very important? We have already learned about actions, karma yoga. Again, is it important to learn actions or to talk about actions again and again? Is it so important? So because Arjuna had this kind of thoughts in his mind, and that is why Krishna says, kim karma kim karmeti kavayo atra mohitaha. Krishna says, I am telling you again and again about karma. Why? Because this has a purpose. There's a purpose, there's a purpose that I am telling you again and again about karma. Why I am saying this? Because even the wise men, when they come into this world of duality, they also get deluded. Kim karma kim karmeti kavayo atra mohita. Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayo atra mohita. What is work? What is action? And what is inaction? Which one is inaction and which one is action? Is it that just by not doing any action is called inaction, or doing action is inaction? Is it like this? Is it that when your organs work, when your body works, that is action, and when your organs and your body doesn't work, that is inaction? Is it like that? Even the wise men, when they come to this when they come to this world, this duality, they also get deluded about that. Tatte karma pravakshami yajagatva moksha sheha asubhat. And that is why I am telling you again about karma, because people get deluded. You hear a lot about karma, and while you start doing it, you get deluded. You do the wrong things. You do mistakes, and because you do mistake, you land up in a completely opposite direction of reality. You land up in completely opposite direction of light, of peace, of bliss, of fulfillment. You are in the into the to opposite direction of that, and your life becomes hell. So you need to know everything about karma. Kim akarmeti kavayo atra mohitaha. What is action? What is inaction? Even the wise men, when they come here into this world of duality, they get deluded. Tatte karma prabhakshami yajagatva moksha sheha subhat. And that is why I am telling you what is karma. I am telling you again about karma. And by knowing this, you are going to be free from all inauspiciousness. You're going to be free from all evils, from all mistakes. So, that is what Krishna says. Now he is talking about what is the real karma. What is the real karma, and what is the real what is karma, and he is talking about this this classification of karma. You think that there is only one karma, the actions that you do. That is what you think, that these actions that you do are the only actions. But actions also has classifications. actions are divided into three parts. One is action, one is anti-action, like just the opposite action, the actions that you should not do, that is prohibited actions, and inaction. There are three. Karmanye api bodhavyam, bodhavyam cha vikarmana, akarmanascha bodhavyam, gahana karmano gati. It says that you need to know what is called a karma, action. Bodhavyam cha vikarmana, you also need to know what is called prohibited actions. What are the actions which you should not do? You should also know that. And akarmanascha bodhavyam, and the actions that, the inactions, when there is no action at all, what are those? You need to know them also. Karmanye api bodhavyam cha vikarmana, akarmanascha bodhavyam. You need to know what is karma. You need to know what is vikarma, that is prohibited action, and you need to know what is inaction, akarma, akarmanascha bodhavyam. And if you don't know them, if you don't have a very proper insight into actions, what the actions are and what can they do, then what is going to happen? Gahana karmano gati. You are going to be taken into darkness by the karma. The karmas are going to lead you towards darkness. The karmas are going to lead you towards darkness. So, just performing karma is not enough. If you perform karma, all life, then it might happen that you are going to land up into darkness, because you are not aware about what karma is, what are the secrets of karma, what is called inappropriate karma, prohibited karma, and what are the inactions you also don't know, and that is why you might land up into darkness. And that is why Krishna says, what is the real karma? Now he talks about what is the real karma. He says,